Hello and welcome back to My Bad with Morgan Rees, the podcast where we just celebrate our imperfection, we binge on our cringes. And this week we have the amazing Ciara O'Connor. Hi, Ciara.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
I know where you live now.
I know you do.
We don't get rid.
No, come over whenever. Yeah. We're so, why I call you friends? We're so new.
We can. We've gigged together twice now. Both very wonderful times, both very gay times. It's always been a pleasure.
Very gay, quick. Can I just say, you're hilarious.
Thank you, so are you.
And I'm not just saying that because the mics are on and there's cameras, but you've crushed every gig we've done so far.
Oh, that's so kind. Next one, she'll bomb. Let's go for it.
Yeah, I always do that on purpose, just to make sure.
Just to jinx it, yeah.
Yeah, so what are you here to bloody plug?
What am I here to plug? I have a wonderful podcast myself, not to brag.
Yes, I know.
It's with my friend Sophie Garrard, lovely comedian, and it's called Thin and Thinner. She is going through a rebrand. We have received some feedback from HR that it could be promoting eating disorders.
If I heard that, because I've listened to the first podcast, it's really funny.
Thank you.
But if I heard that snippet, that would make me want to eat that podcast. Listen to that podcast. Yeah, the podcast is you eat and then go, yeah.
Yeah. Just us binge and purging. That's behind the Patreon.
Yeah. Again, what time the podcast?
Yeah, so the podcast is all about celebrating our favourite problematic women. So when we got told off about it promoting eating disorders, we were told it had a pro-Anna vibe, which means pro-anorexia. But I didn't know that. So I was like, yeah, we talk about Anna Delvey all the time. We love Anna Delvey on the podcast.
I've never heard that before, pro-Anna.
Yeah, I think it's very like Tumblr speak. And sorry, but like Sophie and I were quite normal and quite cool. And we went outside as teenagers. So like it's not something that was in our vocabulary. It's about problematic women, including ourselves. We talk about some of our own wrongdoings. But then we talk about problematic women kind of in media, so like fictional ones, also in history. So we do Anne Boleyn. I'm obsessed with Anne Boleyn.
Nice. That's what I thought pro-Anna would have been.
Yeah. She's like, if you had to ask me to rank the Annes and the Annas, I would put Anne Boleyn first. Anna Delvey maybe second because of when she was on Dancing on the Stars and they had the ankle tag. Did you see that? So she was performing to Espresso and it starts with a zoomed in shot and it's just like the heel. And it's like do you know the instrumental bit at the beginning of Espresso by Sabrina? And then it just pans up the leg to the vajazzled ankle tag that's made to match her outfit. And then up the knees. And then as it starts singing, it like pans out. And then it's her doing the most lackluster like little tango you've ever seen in your life. When she got eliminated, they were like, how do you feel? And she was like, fine, I didn't want to do this. I adore Anna Delvey. Yeah.
Who's Anna Delvey now? One more time.
My gosh, Anna Delvey. So she was, did you see that show that was on Netflix called Inventing Anna a couple of years back? Basically, she's this girl in America who like defrauded loads of people, but we love it because it's white collar crime. So she like pretended to be like this rich sort of heiress from either she's Russian and pretends to be from Germany or the other way around.
I think I do this stories coming out. I didn't have the name.
Yeah, and she scammed loads of people out of loads of money and also was like pretending to be really high status and famous. Anyway, she got arrested, but then we all found out about her because of Netflix. Now she is really famous. So I'm like, do you know what? Good for you, girl. You've made it happen.
Yeah, and just like a roundabout way it worked.
Yeah.
It worked out. It's white collar people. That's all I liked, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's a bit of fun. No one's getting hurt. I know obviously the people that gave her the money are, but also behave.
Yeah. So the podcast is coming back, and it's you, Sophie. Sophie's really funny. We've only gigged with each other once in Oxford.
Yes. Oh, in Oxford. Interesting. Yeah. She's a good time gal. She's a really funny comedian, really nice. She's like my carer, I would say, in terms of she does do a lot of she does a lot of like getting me in the right spirit with it. Yeah, good vibes. So we will be coming back under a new name. It's called Very Us. So if you're listening to this as it comes out, it might still be Thin and Thinner. But if you're like someone that's like listening to a podcast from 3 years ago, love your tenacity. It's called Very Us. That's the pod.
And if you're listening to it we're recording this in 2025. If you're listening to this in 2028, it's going to be one of those ones right at the top of the charts.
Oh, so stop it.
So you just pick one of those. Easy to find.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe Morgan will be our problematic woman by then. Maybe you'll have got yourself cancelled. There'll be a Morgan Rees episode.
I've always wondered what I'd get cancelled for.
What do you think it'd be? Because I think you're quite, you're quite well liked in comedy, but also you bring a nice vibe to the room. You don't really bring a drama to the green room.
I am very much over let's just talk about things, and if we go over the line, we go over the line. I find I think it's just apologise and mean it. It's literally not the end of the world.
Yeah, I don't think you can get cancelled. If someone tried to cancel me, I don't think I'll do anything particularly wrong, but I'll just be like, okay, no. Like, sorry. Like, I am sorry. But also, no, I'm going to continue existing. So there we go. Do you know what I mean? I think cancel culture I mean, I think that's a bit made up anyway. But yeah, I don't think it's real, like, anymore, certainly. I don't think you can cancel someone. Do you know what I mean? You could be a nonce, like, if you show on the BBC. Like, I think if I say something a bit mean about non-binary people, I'll probably be fine.
Yeah. Because the thing as well, I think I do a little bit in my new show about it. The idea is not fully formed, but I think we've got the wrong connotations when it comes to ignorance. I think we need to distinguish between well-intentioned ignorance and deliberate weaponized
Like
ignorance.
Yeah.
Like if I said something wrong, it'd probably come from a place of ignorance, and people will go, "Hey, did you know blank, blank, blank?" and the context around this word, and I'll go, "Oh bloody hell, I had no idea."
Yeah. You can't get angry at someone for that. Like, if you front it and you apologise and stuff like that. Not this being us talking about cancel culture.
I know.
God, we really are Diary of a CEO.
It is Diary of a CEO. We're opposite each other. We're on like the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, I am about to tell you that I don't think gay people deserve rights. They do make me uncomfortable.
Where's straight pride? Where's straight pride?
Yeah. Enough of these rainbow flags. Ugh.
We get it. Ugh. I tell you, I do sometimes think that we should give them straight pride. I mean, in regards to, then they'll be able to see the fallacy of their argument.
Yeah. I mean, I think when people talk about straight pride, it's like, when the football's on, like the way they make gay pride sound of like, I don't feel safe to leave the house. Sorry, when the football's on, I'm like, I'm staying home. I don't want to see anyone. The boys are out in the street. They're topless. They're whipping their tops around. They're getting too drunk. They're getting Larry.
Yeah.
They're about to go and batter someone. Sorry. The World Cup. The Euros, that is straight pride.
I'm gonna because I think the darts is straight pride.
Oh, I'm obsessed with darts. You see, they banned a trans woman from darts now.
Oh God, because the men must have such an advantage.
Yeah,
throwing a dart at a 5 foot away board.
I know, and you know what? Sorry, she deserves it as well, because that's such a fucking boring thing. I think to be trans must make you so interesting, because it's something that just means you have to be so independent of thought and really step into yourself and know who you are. And you found out who you are, and it's a darts player. Sorry, grow up. Do you know what I mean? You deserve that ban. Get a new hobby. Join Pilates.
Yeah.
Get outside.
Have you ever been to the darts though? It is good fun.
I've heard that it's kind of like Bongo's bingo of sports.
Yeah, it's so bananas. You dress up. We all went as. You ever seen the sketch show? I think you should leave.
No,
it's a sketch show on the Netflix. Okay, there's one episode where a hot dog car is a car shaped as a hot dog is crashed into a store, and everyone's going, "Who did this?" And there's another person dressed as a hot dog, and he's going, "Who?" That's
very the vibe.
It's such a funny. But we all dressed up as the hot dogs.
You all went as hot dogs. Did you get like one of those big like sort of plush sort of costumes that you had to put yourself into?
Yeah.
Do you still have it? Have you brought it back for Halloween somewhere. Or anything?
It's gonna have to be that. Oh, for Halloween, me and the boyfriend are going as the girls from the tattoo. All the things you said, running through my head.
Gay rights. And did you know one of them's homophobic?
Yeah. She's like massively anti-gay people, isn't she?
I'm like, anti-gay people? You're an anti to gay people, Missy. You've made everyone gay with that music video.
Something stirred inside me when I heard that song.
Yeah, it did something to me.
Yeah, and I just went, like, I'm bisexual. I just went, this video makes me want to fuck men.
How does this work?
How did that tattoo?
I have to say, I'm not gay. However, not to brag, I'm not gay. But I see certain pieces of media, like all the things she said by Tattoo, or certainly like a lot of the gay, like the lesbian girly rom-coms, like But I'm a Cheerleader and stuff like that. And I watched that and I'm like, this is more engaging than any straight media I've ever seen. But that's how I know that like you're not grooming people to be gay, because like I've seen the content and I loved it, but I still don't like women.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the things she said, that's responsible for a lot of the gay girls, I would say.
Yeah.
And a lot of the queer men as well.
Yeah. I don't know what about that. I don't know. Bloody hell. We're going to go into the game of the week, and I wanted to do it based on your podcast.
Okay.
So given that you are such an expert, I'm going to assume that you're an expert now in toxic women.
Yes. Yeah.
Or women that have toxic moments, I should say.
Yes.
I have made a game called What's My Claim Again?
Okay.
And I'm going to name you 3 celebrities, and then I'm going to give you 3 randomized but real claims made by each one of these celebrities.
I love this.
You have to match the celebrity to their claim.
Oh my God, bring it on. This is so fun.
Okay. So the first claim, and interject at any point, don't feel like I'll just sit there silent. First claim. I've never really wanted to go to Japan simply because I don't like eating fish. And I know it's not very popular out there in Africa.
Do you know what? Bring back cancel culture for her. Am I meant to guess now, or is it that we get to all three and then you say the names? Yeah.
I'll tell you who the celebrities are at the start of the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Second claim. What's Walmart? Do they like make walls there?
I love that.
And the other one, whenever I watch TV and I see those poor starving kids all over the world, I just can't help but cry. I mean, I'd love to be that skinny.
The first two sound like early season Towie, but the last one, that's Joan Rivers. Do you know what I mean? Oh my gosh! So who are the three people that I have to match?
So the three people are Paris Hilton, Mariah Carey, or Britney Spears.
Oh, that's so hard.
So it's the person that thought Japan was in Africa, the person that thought Walmart makes walls, or the person that was jealous of the kids in charity campaigns because they were so skinny.
Britney's Japan for sure. And then I think that, I'm a little bit torn because Walmart, my head goes, oh, well, Walmart has to be Paris because that's such a Paris branding. Do you know what I mean? But then I also feel like Paris would absolutely say she wants to be thin. But then everyone calls Mariah skinny legend. So I'm locking in Britney for Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And then, which way around is it going to be? They're both so thin. Maybe Mariah Walmart and then Paris thin. But I think they could go the other way around.
Okay, locking those in.
I'm locking them in, but I feel bad about it.
I've never really wanted to go to Japan simply because I don't like eating fish. And I know that's not very popular out there in Africa, was said by Britney Spears.
Of course it was. Oh, I love that girl. I love her. I'm rooting for her.
Yeah. What's Walmart? Do they like make walls there? That was said by Paris Hilton.
Yeah, I can take that. That's a fair point. Yeah.
Oh, and then the last one was said by Mariah Carey,
which is crazy.
That is bananas.
But she's a bit bonkers. She's an eccentric lady. I love her beef with J-Lo. Have you ever seen ever seen the video of her going, I don't know her? About J-Lo. Can't remember the context.
That's a really funny thing to say about I don't know her.
Yeah. Especially because that's J-Lo's like sore spot. You talking about like the gays and girls know how to do psychological warfare.
Yeah.
Like, that's J-Lo's sore spot. I don't know if you've ever seen the videos. There's one video where she's going back to the Bronx and she's walking around and she's like, I used to live here. And this guy's like, okay, what's your name? She's like, Jennifer. And he's like, okay, have a nice day. And it crushes her that this man doesn't know who she is. And there was another one literally this past week where someone, you know, when they do those street interviews, I'm like, tell me your favorite fragrance. Someone did something like that to J-Lo. It was like, hey, what's your name and what do you do? And you could tell she was like, what do you mean, what do I do? I'm J-Lo. Like, she is so sensitive about people not being into her. And then Mariah Carey's like, J-Lo, I don't know her. Oh, that's so fierce.
That is fierce. That is direct. That is straight to the heart, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't want to be J-Lo at a time like this.
So the two claims. First claim, I have a memory like a dolphin. Second claim, I can't concentrate in flats.
Bring on claim number 3.
And the third claim, I'd never let an unattractive person cut my hair. If they don't look good, how are they going to make me look good?
That's so fierce. Who are our people?
So people are, who said it? Was it Sharon Osbourne, Katie Price, or Victoria Beckham?
So Sharon, Katie, and Victoria. Can you say the quotes again one by one, please?
I have a memory like a dolphin. I can't concentrate in flats. I'd never let an unattractive person cut my hair. If they can't make themselves look good, how are they going to make me look good?
And our options are Katie, Sharon, and who's the third one?
Katie, Sharon, and Victoria Beckham.
Victoria can't concentrate in flats. Katie, memory of a dolphin. And Sharon for the hair one. But Sharon has shit hair. Sorry, can we say that? Can we tear down a woman on the podcast? She's a Tory. We can tear it down.
Is she a Tory?
I believe so. She says a lot of stuff about the trans community. She has strong opinions on the trans community. It's God. Like, Mama, you look more like a doll than all of us.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like, you've had more work done than anyone I know.
Yeah, I mean, what has she transitioned into?
Yeah, the gremlin from the movie Gremlins. The girl one, obviously. She, her. But yeah, I feel like Sharon did the hair one. Could that be Victoria?
Yeah, no one feeds Sharon after midnight.
Throw water on and she'll melt. I would do, So I think it was Katie said the memory of a dolphin.
Yeah.
Victoria said she can't concentrate not wearing heels. I'm obsessed with Victoria Beckham, by the way. And I know everyone goes, oh, but she's actually quite horrible. I don't care. She's funny. And then Sharon Osbourne said the third one, about the
You're
haircut.
3 for 3.
Oh,
You
I know my
absolutely
toxic
did.
women.
I think you know your toxic women.
Thank you so much.
I think you've got to tune into the podcast. Clearly.
Yeah.
You're
All
an
these and
expert.
more. Yeah, we need to do an episode on Paris because obviously, I think what's fun about Paris is like none of that's real.
Yeah.
But everyone's just bought into it. It's kind of like professional wrestling of like you have to suspend disbelief, and some people are into it, some people aren't. But with Paris, I feel like she managed to just convince the world that was her. And do you ever see the videos of Paris where she'll be talking in her normal voice and then she'll realize there's a camera and she goes up 2 octaves?
No, I haven't seen those.
It's the trans experience. Let me tell you, like I sound like this, but if I get a phone call now or if I like walk into Tesco and I talk to someone, I go up 2 octaves. I'm going to sound like a woman. Like that's going to be me. And that's Paris. Paris sounds like this.
Yeah.
And then the second Paris realizes the camera, she, her.
Yeah.
Fishy. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Like she's got her on camera. Like some people have their phone voice,
Yes,
isn't it?
Yeah.
And like she's just got camera voice.
She's got like vocal fry.
Now, like I said, this podcast is all about like celebrating our cringes, you know, delving into our imperfections. None of us are perfect. Mm-hmm. So what's the last thing I would go to you for?
So the last thing you should come to me for is guidance on how to break up with someone. I'm really, really bad at it. It's got me in some pickles. And I think where it came from is I used to be like, I'd be like talking to a boy or I'd been on a few dates and like it took the littlest thing and I was like, ick, no, we're done. And my friends would tell me off a lot for it. So like I was talking to this one guy and basically then he went on holiday and he was sending me pictures. He was in Portugal of like his little, do you know them like pastel de nata, like the little Portuguese tarts?
Oh,
like his salads for breakfast. He was just sending me pictures of his meals. I was like, sorry, you're not like a 30-year-old woman who works in marketing. You're a 23-year-old DJ from South London.
Yeah.
Why are you sending me pictures of your food? And then he broke his shoulder and he was in a sling. And I was like, I literally don't want to see that man ever again. So I was like, that's gross.
And
that's gross.
And what did it? The injury or the photos?
I think the photos made me uncomfortable. And then he sent me the picture in the sling and I was like, that's crossed a boundary. Please delete my number from your phone.
Yeah. That's how
Never spoke again.
You broke it by writing on his cast.
Yeah,
I don't want to see you no more.
Your signal. So I feel like there's stories like that I was very like, the second I got the ick, I ran. And so now so many of my friends have told me off that I'm like, if a boy is nice, I feel like, oh, well, I should give him a chance. So a couple of years ago, I was dating this guy back at home and he, for context of the story, was trans as well. Yeah. And that is the first and last thing that me and this boy had in common, right?
Okay.
Me and this boy had nothing in common. He was like really conservative. He was really like small town mindset. It was so weird because I was like, surely like being trans would make you like interesting or empathetic, but it didn't.
I find queer conservatives fascinating.
Yeah.
That I hate watch them on my TikTok.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I can't not believe that you've gone through this experience and this is how you've come out with it.
It's like a coping mechanism that they think that if they're like, this is so obvious to say, but like they think that kind of if they appear to be the good one and if like they're palatable enough to like a heteronormative environment, that then people will be accepting. And it's like, I think if they think you're a freak, they think you're a freak. Sorry.
Yeah.
And so, I think if I went on a date with this cis man and they were really conservative and really like traditional, I would have been like, ew, I never want to see him again. But because he was trans, I was like, I can change him. And we ended up going on dates for, I'm not joking, Morgan, like 4 months. And every time I was like, I have nothing in common with this boy.
That's a long time. 4 months.
Yeah.
Like that's teetering on new territory.
Like
dropping
to be hard launched, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking like, it was actually the like straightest relationship I've ever been in. I prefer dating like bi men, whatever.
Yeah.
But people would look at it and be like, oh, well, because you're both like trans, you're both queer. And it was like the straightest relationship ever because I was like, why does he never cry in front of me? Like it was very
very going out with bi men.
yeah, bi men as well, to be fair. But yeah. And then it happened where I decided like, no, it's gone on too long. We're like 4 months in. You don't enjoy spending time with him. You're embarrassed to introduce him to your friends because you know they'll all be like, oh, he's a bit of a Tory. So I say, I'm going to break up with him when I meet him this Saturday. I'm going to end this all when I see him on Saturday. Yeah. And it was that, do you remember 2 years ago, there was that massive heat wave. It was like 40 odd degrees.
Yes. Yeah.
So I was going to go meet him nearer to here. So I had to get 2 trains to get there. I get there.
Oh, 2 trains. That would have been a nick.
Yeah. I'm like, sorry.
2 changes.
Do you think I commute? This is it. I'm bending over backwards too much. So I get to my change. And then because it's so hot, the trains just get delayed and delayed and delayed. And because it's so hot, my sun cream's like melted into my eyes. I'm like, my eyes are stinging. I'm crying. The makeup's sweating off me. I'm really sweaty. I'm like, I feel like the most disgusting I've ever felt. And I'm telling him that's happening. I'm like, oh, now this train's been cancelled. And at this point, I'm waiting like an hour at this changeover.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, like, we don't have to meet up, or like, I can come and pick you up or whatever. I'm like, no, don't pick me up, I'll wait. And it got to the point where it's like an hour and a half. And he went, listen, I will come and pick you up. Even if it is just that you're not feeling it and you want to go home, I will pick you up and take you back to your home so that you can just get home and this day can be over. And I was like, wow, this is maybe the nicest thing a man's ever done for me. And I now have to be like, oh, I don't like you that much. I can't do it. So eventually I go, oh, no, the train's coming. I'm going to get there. I've like sweated it off. I get to the town that he lives in. He's there in his car. He's like, I brought some ice lollies to cool you down. I've put this water in the freezer so it's really cool. Here's a fan. Just anything to make you feel relaxed. Just being like boyfriend material. And I'm like, I've only come here with one mission. And that's to tell you that like, I don't think we're compatible. It's like, this is the worst thing ever. So we go for lunch and then he's like, oh, I've been thinking like, I need to make more effort with you. And like, I'm just conscious like you putting more effort than me. And I really want to change and be better. And then we go on this hike and everything. And I just thought like, this man is giving me nothing that I can be like, this is why I don't like you.
Yeah, it's like giving me all the things I need to hear.
Yeah, it's like the first date he's ever not brought up trans women in sports. I was like, oh, like, how am I?
And you stayed with this person for 4 months.
I know. And it wasn't like monogamy vibes or anything, but like, yeah, we just kept going on these dates and I was like, I just can't do it. And so we went on the date and then, I was like, cool, I'll go home. Anyway, that evening, he said something over text. I was like, wow, that's problematic. It was about like the Irish traveller community and it wasn't about trans people. So I was like, I can argue about this now because that's not me. So I'm not going to see sensitive. I was like, oh, you might not know this, but that's not the right term. He really doubled down. We ended up having an argument. And then I was like, to be honest, babe, I don't think we're too compatible. And I needed like an argument about him being a fascist to break up because I couldn't just be like, I don't feel the vibes. I'm just terrible at it. I think it's because I've been told that I was too quick to like discard men. But now if I don't feel anything for a man at all, but like he's not
you're bare
been
with
mean.
You're bare with the fascism.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, he is quite nice to me. And it really winds up my friends because before coming on the pod, I messaged a couple of my close friends to be like, what are the things I should bring on? And one of the ones for this question was, you will entertain a man that you are in no way interested in just because he's not been mean to you. And that is so true. So the bar's really low if anyone wants to.
Just be nice. You be as problematic as you want. Just be polite. Do your P's and Q's, open doors.
Well, this is the problem. I will say, I really don't want to date a conservative man. There's never been a guy that I've dated who's been more chivalrous and put in more effort than the Tory. And I was like, this is the problem with gender roles, is like some of them are quite nice. So
yeah, I guess so.
So yeah,
when you believe in equality, it's like they can lift everything I can lift. You do all the heavy lifting. You do all this.
Yeah, enough of 50-50 on dates. Like I knew I earned more than this man, but he was not going to let me pay for anything. More of that, please. So good time guy. Hope he's doing well. And yeah, we wish him well on his journey.
Now on to the section of the cringe binge. Have you got any moments that still make you shudder?
Yeah.
I passed my bad.
Yes. Yeah. I want to hear yours afterwards because I don't feel like I cringe as an adult. And I think maybe comedy helps with that. But I'm like, I just feel like even if I do something and it's like wrong or embarrassing, I'm kind of like, I'm embarrassed right now and then it's over.
Yeah.
But as a teenager, especially as a queer teenager, I feel like trying to fit in is cringy. But then when you don't try to fit in, that's also cringy. Like both ends of the spectrum. Like anything you're doing because you're thinking about how other people perceive it.
Yeah.
It just sets you up to be embarrassing. So like, I have 2 stories. One where I did try, one where I didn't. So one where I did try, I went to like all boys Catholic school in Manchester. And you know what teenage boys are like.
Yeah.
It's all about shaggy stuff like that. So we were in like year 8, year 9. I was like 12, 13 years old. And all the boys talking about having sex. And obviously now you'd look back and be like, none of those boys were having sex. But at that age, you believe it. And I'm like, wow, everyone around me is like having sex. That's what it feels like to be fair. That's what it feels like to be friends with gay men at 27. I'm like, everyone around me is having sex and I'm not.
But I think that is
that's
just
true
what's happening.
now.
That's just true.
Yeah, that is authentic.
That's not your anxiety. That's not your delusion. Like those gay men be fucking.
Yeah, that's a very real fear to have right now. Whereas like back then, I don't think the boys I was doing like GCSE English with, I don't think they were dogging. Do you know what I mean? They were on Grindr. But we were in an interaction where people were talking about sex and someone said to me about like, well, you've never had sex to me. And I was like, yes, I have.
Oh.
Obviously I hadn't. I was like 12, 13. I went, yes, I have. And they're like, really? When? And you know when you're lying and it just gets worse and worse?
Oh, God, I used to be such a bad fibber. Yeah.
Morgan, I went, yes, I did. When I was, and I was like, well, I can't choose something too recent because they know me from secondary school. I went, when I was 6.
No.
Yeah. And then I was called 6 for like a year.
They turned it into a nickname.
Yeah.
The
as
most
they
horrifying thing that's ever been said or uttered or dropped in school. And they turned it. Kids are so fucking brilliantly cruel, aren't
But
they?
it's so, like, now I'm like, that is hilarious. But back then I was like, I'll never live this down. And people were like, oh, you're lying. And I was like, well, people can't know I'm lying. So I was like, no, it's true.
Oh, God.
A teacher takes me aside, be like, oh, Ciara, I've heard these things. I just wanted to check in. What's the story? I'm like, oh, none of it's true, blah, blah, blah. She was like, good, I'm really glad. And we don't need to talk anymore about it. And I will say, like, as an English teacher and the first ally that a young gay child has, perfect response. As the head of safeguarding for a school, terrible response. You should have called Childline. You should have called pastoral. Like, if I'm going around telling everyone I was shagging when I was 6, we've got a problem. Do you know what I mean?
There has to be further question. You can't believe a child's first dancing, can you?
Yeah. No.
Hey, has this been happening? No? Oh, phew. I don't have to do the paperwork.
That's that. Do you know what I mean? Catholic school, she's seen worse. But but yeah, no, not good. And then other end of the spectrum, I remember maybe like sort of year 9, year 10, we had to do an assembly. Like our form group had to do this assembly on like, who was your hero? And obviously, all boys school, literally everyone did it on like a footballer or a rugby player. Did
you ever, when you were thinking of school assemblies, did you ever want to be the person that got up and spoke? Or were you shy?
Shy. I was very, very, very quiet. It would not have spoken to me. I mean, when I did open my mouth, I told everyone I lost my virginity at 6. So I was like, I think I'm going to, no more public speaking for me.
Yeah. That's so funny. The first time you decided to stick your head above the parapet.
Yeah. Came out as a victim. Yeah. So everyone's doing theirs on the hero and it comes to me and I go, my hero is Benazir Bhutto. And I just hear people groan. And if you don't know Benazir Bhutto, right? Yeah. She was a 2-time Prime Minister of Pakistan, both times before I was born. And she was assassinated before I was 10. Did I know anything about Benazir Bhutto's politics? No. But I was like, wow, the first woman to be Prime Minister in Pakistan. How inspiring. So I get out there. And when everyone else is being normal, and I should have just been like, oh, Wayne Rooney. I go up and I'm like, my hero is Benazir Bhutto, the now assassinated former Prime Minister of Pakistan. And I was just like, oh, go back to lying. Go back to saying you lost your virginity. Just
go, but just say
there has to be a happy
Henry.
medium. Yeah. There has to be a happy medium between lying too much and saying you lost your virginity at 6 and being too honest.
That's always going to make me laugh. It's such a horrific, monstrous lie.
Yeah. And I never told any, like, I'm not really, if I do something embarrassing, I want everyone to know, like, I don't mind my friends doing anything embarrassing about me. I don't think I ever told anyone about that 6 story after, like, leaving school. Like, it never came up. And then I decided I was going to do it at my first Work in Progress show last year. I was like, listen, I'm talking all about kind of coming home and connecting with growing up. I was like, I'm just going to talk about, like, the embarrassing things that happened. And, like, even my best friends had never heard that before, but it got such a big laugh because it's like, there's no sort of
it's
high status. Like, it's just embarrassing.
It's just embarrassing. It's absurd. It's we get that's an absurd thing to say, told from the panic state of a closeted child.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's just, you swung and you missed. You went to protect yourself, and instead you worsened your circumstances.
Because that's what it feels like to be like a queer teenager, isn't it? Because the whole time you're like paying attention, like, so this is what everyone else does, and this is what everyone else thinks is normal. So I need to be that, and you're like trying to copy it, and sometimes you'll copy it in like an okay way, and I think being quiet helps. But sometimes you'll try to copy what they say. And because it's not authentic, you just say the entirely wrong thing, like when I was 6.
Yeah.
And it's just so brutal to be a gay kid. But
I used to lie about being able to play the piano because I didn't want people to think I was gay.
Playing piano, a bit gay. Grade 5, Bender.
Yeah. I got grade 6 and sucking cock.
Please don't say the word 6. That's a really sore spot for me.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to trigger you there.
I think piano's not even a gay instrument. I think it's woodwind. If you're playing flute, can I use a slur on the pod? Yeah, if you're playing the flute, sorry.
Yeah.
Clarinet, oboe.
Yeah.
fun boy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, they're size queens.
Yeah, the bassoon, she's compensating. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Woodwind to me is very, but I don't think pianos. Trying to think, is there any like straight male pianists that we all know?
Oh, like
Elton John.
Elton John. Elton John's a bloke. He's had a wife.
Has he?
He's had a wife. He's got kids.
Has he had a wife? Did he have a little marriage?
Yeah, a little marriage.
Elton.
I know.
Well, it was different then. I'll let him off. I bet he was at Hampstead Heath and all.
Yeah, true. But okay, we're talking about the gayest instrument in an orchestra.
Yeah.
Where does triangle sit in?
I actually think triangle's quite straight because it gives nonchalant straight man who's in orchestra as a bit of a joke, and he's not taking it seriously. And you're like, well, actually, sorry, but the French horn is my craft. Like this is really important. And he's just there like, I'm playing the triangle. It's silly. Yeah, I think that's like a nonchalant straight man.
Or
what do you think? Or do you think it's?
I
a bit gay?
think it's straight, but I think it's straight because it's so they do not see that they're doing so much less than everyone else, but they see themselves as equal contributor.
True. That is so true.
Like them going, I did my job.
Yeah. Bing. Yeah.
We're
Following someone else at the front. It's like, yeah, you needed a woman up there telling you what to do. And you're going to take all the credit. Yeah. No, you're so right. Triangle, very straight.
Wicked. Next one now, the chain reaction. So unfortunately, didn't get a question from Courtney. Maybe get it for next week. Mm-hmm. So the question I'm going to ask you is, when it comes to your famous memoir, your famous autobiography, you lose your voice on the day.
Okay.
Who's going to come in and do your...
Who's going to narrate my audiobook?
Who's going to narrate your audiobook?
Oh, what a question. Oh my gosh. I have to think about that. Who's going to narrate yours? You tell me, I'll have a think.
I really want someone so far away from me. I think I might want Josh Jones, my podcast, because like Josh is
that's so funny.
Mancunian,
and then you're talking about being in the closet, and it's Josh Jones, obviously.
I want to do a coming out book, but it's the gayest voice in the world.
Yeah, that would be so funny.
I want to write a book about me being in the closet, and I want it narrated by Louis Spence.
Yes. Oh, I love that. That's so fun. I think I'm going to take your tact, and I'm going to go with someone like Danny Dyer. And then when I talk about like the period in my life where like I transitioned, but then no one could know and I didn't talk about it and it was really low disclosure and blah, blah, blah. But then it'll be Danny Dyer's voice be like, I was a bird and no one knew. Do you know what I mean? I think that would be so funny.
Well, nobody knew what I was going through.
Yeah, very, very that. Yeah. So I think I'm choosing Danny Dyer. Thank you so much. I love that.
I would love Danny Dyer to narrate an early years trans autobiography.
Yeah. And then I told him I lost my virginity when I was 6, but in Danny Dyer's voice. Oh, God, yeah.
I said I was only 6. Whole place called silent. Give a fucking pin drop.
I like how you're becoming progressively more Fagany in your Danny Dyer voice.
Yeah.
You're running the Victorian Orphan Brigade right now. I love that. Amazing. Do you want my question for the next guest?
Yes, please.
So I noticed that a lot of your questions have the word bad in as a pun. So I'm going for bad romance, and following on from what we discussed earlier, what's the silliest reason you've ever had for wanting to end a relationship or like a dating experience, whatever? What's the thing that you were like, well, I can't do it, that you can't say out loud without being embarrassed?
Oh, brilliant. I'll ask that to the next guest. I'll also tell you mine off the pod.
Okay, I look forward to it.
It's so shallow. Am I bad for? What's your hot take? And it could be bad. Am I bad for doing this? Am I bad for thinking that?
I'm saying am I bad for? I've decided I'm not, but I'm going to tell you what my hot take is. And you can tell me I'm bad for it because everyone else does. If you leave me something unkind on the internet, I am well within my rights to match your energy and go further to like bring you back down. So particularly like I get a lot of like horrible comments when my reels go around online because you get like homophobic people, whatever. But
isn't that it's part of the... it shouldn't be, but maybe in a queer person online.
Yeah, 100% for a queer person. I think it's like as a woman and then as a queer person. And if I compare it to like Sophie, who I do the podcast with, she'll get it occasionally, but it's never as like vulgar or like nasty as mine, because like there is that like sort of transphobia element.
Yeah, of course you're gonna have it tenfold to what I get.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean it like that. I'm sure.
No, we're not comparing.
I'm the one commenting on yours. I'm like, oh, you batty boy. But
it's Ciara again. You just do it from your account.
Yeah, not even a burner. So where it started was a few years back, maybe like 3 years ago. It was like shortly after I moved to London. I had a man send me unsolicited dick pics on one of the apps, but he'd given me his full name. So what I did was I went on his profile, I searched his friend list, and then I typed in his surname. I found all of his family members. I added them to a group chat and I said, hi, I hope everyone's having a wonderful bank holiday weekend. Just a little quick note. If any of you could have a word with your brother/son/nephew, insert name here, about sending pictures of his penis to women that he doesn't know on the internet, I would really appreciate it. I understand that this isn't any of you and that it's not what you stand for. And I do hope you have a lovely weekend. And he had a sister who kicked off, but all the boys in his family were like, I am mortified. That is so bad. I'm so sorry. I'll have a word. He sent me an apology. He was like, fuck, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I've done this.
I can't. I think you can totally believe.
You can, honey. And then he goes, fuck, I really needed this. Thank you. So I was like, oh, so shaming men works, and I'm going to do this in every aspect of my life.
And they'll respond to it healthily.
Yeah. He'll never send a dick pic again. He mentioned me on the apps this past year, and obviously didn't remember.
I need to ask questions. I'm just absorbed.
Please,
I'm absorbed. No. I'm just absorbed by how. Oh my! Can I just start with yes? Fucking please do that. Do that. They deserve it.
Yeah.
And I think everyone deserves. Like that's the one thing that makes me think. Oh, maybe we do all need online ID.
Yeah.
So
100. But this is the thing. I'm a good stalker. So like, I don't care. Like LinkedIn, company house, Harbour Hotel. Like, if you've had an account anywhere, I will find it and I will weaponize it. So now when I get hate comments, I'll just look at their profile, even if it's a private account, between the name, the picture and stuff like that, I'll be able to find their Facebook, their LinkedIn, whatever. And within 5 minutes of leaving a comment, pretty consistently, I will come back to you and I will tag several family members. And I will also like read you to filth. Like, I'll be like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And maybe I would focus more on the fact that my fucking fruit and veg business went out of business 7 years ago because you couldn't afford it. Maybe I'd focus on your failed business, Gary. Like, I will, you're focusing on the wrong fruit. I will let you have it. I get in there, and it's the psychological warfare of being a queer person, how we know the right thing to say to tear someone down. I will get in there and I will let you know exactly what I think, right?
Yeah.
Where this has become a problem for me is...
By the way, you're not bad for this. You're a legend for this.
Thank you. But I sometimes post it on my stories, and was it on there? I think it might have been on the Patreon we were talking about, so I don't know if I can spoil it. We were talking about when you post the thirst trap. Like, It gets great engagement, but also a lot of unfollows. Mm-hmm. When I post screenshots of me arguing with men in my comments, it gets so many likes, but I'll also have like 20 people unfollow me every time because they're like, she's too mentally unwell. We're leaving.
Or it's straight men following you and going, oh shit. She can do this. She can do this. She can do this.
For sure. But I got one towards the end of last year. I had this. I can't remember which joke it was. It wasn't an offensive one. None of my jokes were particularly offensive. But it was something so harmless. But it got to like the straight male algorithm, and they were letting me have it. And I was every single one. I was like knocking it back and being like, "This is where you work. I'll tag your employer." Like every single one. Oh, wow. But then one guy, and it was the comment that like riled me up the most because it was just really like sexual and vulgar. And I was like, fuck off. So I was like, I am going to find out about this man. I click on his profile, private account, the name's jumbled. I'm like, how am I going to find this man? He has a picture of himself. He's playing rugby. So I'm there, I reverse image search, I can't find it. I'm like searching, okay, it was like a dark blue and light blue rugby kit. I'm searching through like databases of rugby kits. Like, I'm not letting this man get one over on me. I couldn't find anything. I'm now talking to friends who do friendly rugby. Like, is there anywhere that I can find out about friendly, like local rugby teams? Yeah. So I can find this dark blue, light blue team and find this man. All
the while, you're not turning up to work, you haven't eaten, your rent's overdue.
Yeah, they're like, Ciara, where are you? This is what happens when you work from home. Do you know what I mean? And,
that's why everyone should be back in the office. This is, they're all stalking strangers online at home.
Don't let my employer see this podcast, let me tell you. So I'm like, no, I am finding this man. He's not going to accept a follow request from me because it's me. He knows he's just left a mean comment. I can tell he's a massive perv from what he said. So I'm going to follow him. I'm going to make my first burner. I've never had a burner before. A lot of people are surprised because I give off quite a mentally unwell vibe. But actually, I don't stalk exes. I don't do any of that, right? I went, I'm making a burner. And this has to be...
That's funny. You give burner energy.
I do. And I know I do. I know it's who I am. And a lot of people will be surprised. But I'm making my first burner, baby's first burner. And this burner, she has to be the straightest woman of all time. Welcome to the stage, Hannah Louise. Why Louise, you ask? Let me tell you why Louise Morgan.
That has floored me. Hannah Louise is the straightest girl I've ever met.
Thank you. Let me tell you, I built a character. I felt like an author. I've given her a life, right? So why Louise and not a normal surname? Well, when Hannah left school, she went and she became an air stewardess. So at first she was at British Airways, loved it. Ended up moving over to Emirates, had a great time. She loves Dubai. And then
again,
they love Dubai.
They love Dubai.
Yeah.
They love, maybe that's straight pride.
There's more Dubai content to come from Miss Hannah Louise. You better strap in.
Oh, I'm in.
So Hannah Louise, after working as an air stewardess for a while, basically she and her boyfriend Ricky, that she's dated since year 9, they got engaged, and she was like, we're going to start having kids. I need to settle down. I can't be doing the travel. I love the travel. I love the shopping. I love the scenery.
Childhood sweethearts again. That's so,
Hannah and Ricky.
Now that there's queer, like outly queer people in schools, maybe we'll start seeing
basic gay people. Heartstopper grown up.
Yeah. Queer childhood sweethearts.
I find it very unsettling when I see 2 gay men that have dated since they're 17. I'm like, I don't like that. Sorry, not to be homophobic. I just feel like you've never, like, I don't know, gone dogging in a bus station. And I think you should have.
Yeah, there is a bit of an element to that, isn't there? It's like, you found the best asshole.
Yeah.
When you were 17.
Yeah. And the water runs clear. You know that they have a happy life.
Yeah, you know they're really happy.
Yeah.
And it's all come from a place of jealousy and bitterness.
Yeah. I'm just bitter.
So they've starting kids,
Hannah Louise,
Dubai and Ricky.
So now Hannah Louise, she's retraining as a primary school teacher. So she's doing a PGCE. And what do people love to do when they become a teacher? Change their surname on Facebook to their middle name. And it's always Louise. Hannah Louise. How do we make Hannah's Instagram as straight as possible? They love putting their age in their Instagram bio. Do you see straight people do this? Hannah Louise, Instagram bio, 26. Where's she going to be from? Where's the straightest place in the world? Nottingham. Have you ever met a trans person from Nottingham? No.
I know a few queer people, though, but I've never met a trans person from Nottingham.
Exactly. So I'm going to be unspooked, right? Nottingham, they don't do transsexuals in Nottingham.
No.
Hannah Louise, 26, Nottingham. Swiftie. I've never listened to Taylor Swift's music. I'm not a hater. I'm not someone who hates on her for the sake of it. I'm not familiar with her. I'm following Taylor Swift accounts. I'm following Nottingham Lash Nail accounts, all of that. I'm like stepping into this world, building my following so that I've then got enough followers to follow him and it looked like a real account. I'm doing it. I'm doing the work. I'm a Swiftie. I'm like following all these 50 accounts.
Are you making posts as well? Or are you just like
yeah. Just like a post of like a pasta bowl. Like obviously you can't post of me. So it's just like, oh, there's a tree. Because that's what straight people do on their Instagram, isn't it? That or a point, she would have done a photo of Ricky, but Ricky's not real.
Or if they do treks or hikes, it's them at the peak.
Oh, for sure.
One knee down.
Hannah loves a hike and then a Sunday roast. Oh, for sure. Oh, I bet Hannah loves that. So she's a Swiftie, and her final thing loves I'm a Celebrity because that's a straight person show. # Team Mora, that's in the bio. And Dubai. And so she's sharing Dubai memes every day. There's Dubai meme pages. It's like, I need some vitamin D. The D stands for Dubai. And then it'll be like blank space by Taylor Swift over the top. I built this world. I became this girl, right?
Yeah.
I'm now part of the Swiftie community. Also, I can follow this man. He never accepted my follow request. And then I look back at his comment and I was like, was he really gross and sexualizing? Yes. But I also think he might have been a gay man. And I was like, do I have to do this again for a twink?
Yeah.
But I've not done it. But that was when I was like, Kira, you need to stop going to walk with your
I think you've done all the hard work. Just flip the photo.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, put it through a face app, give her a beard. But yeah, so that's my, am I bad for it? I've gone too far. I know I've gone too far. I don't know what your verdict is. Like, do I need to rein it in?
I mean, you've gone further than Daniel Day-Lewis, I would say.
She's method.
My one thing is, do you think Hannah Louise was there all along?
That there's a real Hannah Louise.
Did you make Hannah Louise, or did you let Hannah Louise out?
Oh my gosh, that's so profound. I do think if I ever go into witness protection,
I'm sorted.
I'll be in Nottingham. You wait and see. I'll be in Nottingham teaching children. That's going to be my witness protection. Do I think there's a part of me? I wish I was more basic. I don't. Well, no, I am basic. I look quite basic, but I wish I did love like Taylor Swift because the Swifties seem so happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be a Swiftie fan, not a Carly Rae Jepsen fan. We've been through it. Do you know how hard it is to be a Carly Rae Jepsen super fan in 2025? We're fighting for our lives. I want to be a Swiftie. So yeah, maybe there was a bit of me that was like, I need to live the life I was destined to live. If I wasn't trans, I would be Hannah Louise. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's so, if I wasn't trans, I'd be Hannah Louise.
Yeah.
There's the book. There's the book title.
Yeah. Hannah Louise actually narrates the audio book.
Yeah.
Her. And then Ricky is played by the Tory that I went on a date with.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now we're coming towards the end. You've been phenomenal, Keith.
Thank you for having me
so
on. What a
much.
fun time.
We're going now into the quick fire round, so you can think about it if you want, but then if they're on the top of your chest, just get it out. So we've got through my bad quick fire questions. Horoscopes or horror nopes? Do you believe in star signs?
I don't. I'm so sorry to the gays.
That's all right. If you were to be ordained, what would you be the patron saint of?
Ciara is a patron saint. I have a bit about this in stand-up because I Googled it. She's the patron saint of incest.
No way.
Yeah, and after the 6 allegations, I don't know if I want to be walking around saying, I was named after the patron saint of incest.
Okay, and the next question is, what do you do on St. Ciara Day? How do you celebrate St. Ciara Day?
Listen, I lock the doors, I close the blinds, I say no one's coming in. I'm not partaking in this culture.
Yeah. Other than your own, where's your favourite toilet?
Ooh, so if you need a public bog in London and you're a girl, here are my 2 recs. There's on like by Bond Street, there's that Selfridges. That's a good one for like, you don't need to buy anything, you can go in there. King's Cross Station has such nice loos, and they actually have a thing saying they're like voted one of the nicest loos in like Publix of them. However, you might be aware, I'm now back in the men's loos game, so I've not been in the men's loos for a while.
I should have thought of that before asking this question.
No,
So
I love it because it's been like I don't know. The last time I used a men's loo, we were under like a coalition government, right?
Oh wow!
So it's been a while. So I want to ask you, which men's loo should I be using? What are your recommendations? Have you shared yours on the pod?
Oh my god! Well, I do like a Wetherspoons toilet, but then I guess I'll be encouraging trans women to go into like quite dicey areas. Let's be honest, like the Spoons is a
the
roll
men's
of the dice,
toilet's
isn't
bad.
it?
Spoons, that's the trenches.
Yeah, that is the trenches.
Yeah.
The one thing I like about it is that it's wall to wall. You're covered. It's thick oak, and they have. Look, I think they know. I think the people in Wetherspoons know their clientele, which is unhealthy people. Therefore, the gent has loads of
cubicles.
toilets.
Oh, yeah. And this is it. Is that
because they must have diarrhea because that mixed grill was cooked in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's not. The Spoon's food isn't good.
What would you rather? Everyone know your orgasm face or your orgasm sound?
Orgasm sound, because at least I would know what the sound is, whereas I don't know what my face would look like.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't like that people would know and I wouldn't, because I'd be like, what if it's really bad? So I'd rather just the sound.
Okay. Yeah.
What about you?
Ooh, sound.
Yeah?
Because I know what my face looks like and it's mortifying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really bad.
I just think you've got quite a melodic voice in general. I think this is like the South Wales thing, right?
Yes.
So I feel like, vocals. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've been told that I look like a toddler stropping.
That's so funny. It's pan to camera. That'll be on the Patreon. You're going to have to pay to see that, kids.
If you had to describe yourself in 3 sounds, what would those sounds be?
Maybe like a...
Nice.
Maybe a... because I do tell a lot of lies. And then I think my last one, I can't stop quoting it. Lena Dunham on Girls, she goes, I think I might be the voice of my generation. I have not stopped saying that this month. So I think I might be the voice of my generation is my 3rd sound.
Your sounds can change. I like those sounds.
Thank you.
If you're online, where can people find you?
It is at Ciara O'Comedy on Instagram and TikTok. It is also at hannah.louise.2406.x on Instagram if you are into the Hannah Louise lore. But generally, Ciara, Ciara O'Comedy.
Oh, brilliant. And finally, you've been on My Bad with Morgan Rees. Will you come again?
Oh my God, please.
I've loved this. This has
I've
been
had so much fun.
I've had so much fun. One more time, the shows, the podcast and the Edinburgh show, where are they and why?
Yes. So the podcast, Thin and Thinner, unless you're listening to this in the future, then it's called Very Us Pod. And then Edinburgh, I'm going to be doing a little split bill, Gilded Balloon. I can't tell you the time, 7:40-ish. That could be an absolute lie. But that'll be on my Instagram. It's a split bill with Bert Broadbent and Fab Gwalin. So check that out. And yeah, that's me. What about you? Do you want to plug your Edinburgh? Get it in there, girl.
I'm there for the first. Thank you very much. You're good at this. You got a podcast.
Baby.
I can tell you got a podcast.
Face for radio.
Oh, don't be tap. You're gorgeous. I'm at the Edinburgh Fringe for the first 2 weeks, doing a work in progress, ready for the tour next year. Got another podcast called this is my bad. Chatting with Cherubs is my other one. I'm used to plugging the other one on the other one.
Yeah.
And Chatting with Cherubs and otherwise social medias. But guys, thank you so much, my baddies. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. We drop every single Wednesday. Unless you join the Patreon, it's £3 a month. We have bonus content. You get 2 days early access. You get a free cameo from me and loads more. But otherwise, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
We'll see you next week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. I'm obsessed with My Baddies.